All right, everybody, welcome back to the Sooner or Later podcast. I had to look to make sure that was all okay. This week, for episode 124, we're doing two-a-days on the live stream. So that means up first, you're getting Bros. Bros is directed by Nicholas Stroller, written by Billy Eichner and Nicholas Stroller, produced by Judd Apatow, Nicholas Stroller, and Joshua Church, with cinematography by Brandon Trost. Wow, holy shit, I'm dying. Edited by Daniel Gabe, music by Mark Shaman. Production companies were Global Solutions and Apatow Productions. Distributed by Universal Pictures with the release dates of September 9th, 2022 at TIFF and September 30th, 2022 in the wider United States, with a runtime of 115 minutes and a budget of $22 million. As of December 4th, it only brought in $14.7 million in the box office. So a bomb in all sense of the word. Bros currently sits at 88% on the tomato meter with 213 reviews and 90% on the audience score with 500 plus verified ratings, and a Metacritic score of 72 from critics and a 4.0 audience score. But the only people who truly matter to you are these three fine gentlemen right here, and our 10-minute spoiler-free review starts now.
No.
Who wants to open it up? I open it up every time, so I'm letting y'all open it up.
Funny.
This movie's funny as shit. It is very funny.
Yeah, I think it's cool because you get kind of different types of characters that you normally wouldn't get. Or like in movies, like these characters would be the one-off characters. Now you get a whole movie of them.
Of one-off characters?
Yeah.
So this is structurally speaking, it's a perfect rom-com, isn't it? Other than it being maybe a little too long, tropes. Right? It hits all of them, doesn't it?
I would agree. So. I watch a lot of rom-coms, and I think it's a very strong rom-com. I think as long as you aren't uncomfortable by things, I think you can really enjoy this movie.
I think we can say it, because it's not a spoiler. As long as you're not uncomfortable watching dudes get blown, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
You just got to be okay with that.
I think it too, there's some heart to it where it's like, yeah, it's a comedy, but like because it does the rom-com thing well, like you get those moments of heart and levity, and you also get those moments of like character development where it's like you assume you'd get in this movie, but it could also been just raunchy and kind of, the characters could have just been, exaggerations of stereotypes. But overall, I think it does justice to a lot of the characters.
But even if it was over the top with just a bunch of stereotypes, that would have just been Girls Trip, but with gay dudes, right? Which would have been rad. I mean, it would have been hilarious, but it definitely wouldn't have been a rom-com.
Yeah. I mean, this movie could have been all those type of, they even mentioned hangovers in here. Like, it could have been, those just, bro stuff. Just, hey, they're sexually attracted to each other.
Yeah.
It's a good love story, dude. Love is love is love.
No, love is not love, Eric. That's the whole point, is that love is not love.
I love how, the satire in it, or I guess... Is that what you would call it? Where they showed the movie studio guy, and then they were that meeting, that's not how it actually happened, right?
Yeah.
So he's just when he's retelling the story, it goes over the top.
Yeah, I mean the narrator is very he's very
gay,
flamboyant. Yeah, and I mean throughout the movie, you're supposed to see him that way because we're almost seeing it through the love interest, perspective of being hey man, just tone it down a bit, and this guy's no, this is me.
Good old Bobby.
I beg to differ. You're seeing it omnipotently, and you will kind of vibe and go along with whatever character you're agreeing with. Because I didn't see it from the new guy's point of view at all. I didn't see it from Billy Eichner's point of view at all. I felt more so I'm just someone watching from the outside and enjoying these two people talking to each other. But I didn't agree with the boyfriend at all. What? Bro, you're gay.
Was it Aaron?
Yeah. You're gay. Your partner's gay. You can't be bro, tone it down. Don't be so gay. And what?
But it really depends too, because because he's still not comfortable and his parents aren't comfortable, and I understand that perspective because if it wasn't even the gay thing, if it was something else, and you're hey, you're too loud, and can you tone it down because my parents, stuff like that. like you could still use that as the same way of someone saying that. It is just like because they're talking about being gay.
I
it's
don't
like,
think
oh, no.
anybody's ever died because they were too loud.
Yeah, but like still, like if
they
like,
weren't
if you're, like,
persecuted
meeting
for it.
your if you're meeting your significant other's parents for the first time, you're always want to like, hey, just try to kind of not be like too
Yeah,
much.
But
in
that's
general.
only if that person is too much, though. Like, you
Yeah.
don't have
What-
to tell
like,
that to somebody who's not too much. But, like, he knows this guy. He's been spending
Yeah.
time with him. He understands. He watches this podcast, which, can we just show some love for movies that are showing podcast love?
There's been a lot of
2022
podcasts
is the year of the
Yeah.
podcast movie. But, like, I think his boyfriend was being kind of a piece of shit. Because
I mean, he was being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's not kinda. I think he was.
Billy Eichner's character has had to fight for being gay, being normal all the time. Like,
Mhm.
so, like, he's always in that fight mode. For him to be like, hey, don't be yourself right now, that's
Yeah.
kind of a piece of shit thing to ask somebody.
But like
And at that
within-
point, he's gone through the monologue, right? He went through the monologue where Bobby explained his whole life, right?
Yeah, yeah, they were at the beach
And
already.
then-
yeah,
And then he does all that, knowing that
Yeah.
backstory.
yeah.
But like within the community, you have people that feel that way though. Some people are like, hey, let's not be too flamboyant because it's hard enough for us already. And that's how he sees it.
But that's internalized homophobia. And Billy Eichner literally, I don't think that's spoilers. Billy Eichner literally tells him that. He's
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
when he's talking about his hopes and
Bobby.
dreams. Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
the character names. There's gay 1 and gay 2.
Nah,
How
dude.
about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Masculine gay and fairy gay. Is that
Yeah.
better, Eric?
I mean, that's what they are though. Like, and
Yeah.
I think it's important to have
But
those
Billy
two roles
Eichner's
in this
character is a otter, right? He's not a twink because he's not hairless. He's more of an otter, isn't he?
Sure, man. I don't know what that means, but
Do your fucking research, you
the
fucking
context
homophobe.
clues. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He's a bird chest, is what he is.
But no, yeah, bird feeder chest is what he called it.
Yeah.
But like that is ultimately just internalized homophobia. He's too worried about being masculine presenting that he can't, handle this gay guy who is just openly gay and
Yeah.
flamboyantly gay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
But
like
I
while
underst-
people may feel like that doesn't mean that it's
Mhm.
like that's part of the problem,
Mm-hmm.
is because they still feel like they have to hide it. And it's like, bruh, you don't have to hide shit. Just be yourself. That's all that matters.
Yeah. But like if that character feels like and it makes him uncomfortable, you as your significant other should still be like, oh, I care about your feelings as well. And I'm not saying totally not be yourself, but like, there's like levels to it. And I think too, like neither of them were seeing each other's point of view. They were only seeing their point of view at that point, especially like when they have a dinner scene. They're really both only seeing their like point of view for the most part.
Yeah, but one of their point of views is out of fear and uncomfortableness, and the other
Mhm.
one is acting in defense of his culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because in that scene, the mom is disparaging. That's what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's saying, you're being gay is unnatural and children shouldn't learn about it. And like,
Mhm.
my man's whole point in life has been
Yeah.
lifting the gay community up. I think he acted appropriately in that situation because you know what? Fuck her for thinking that.
Yeah, but I think the example he uses, like a child at that age, whether it be gay, straight, or other, a lot of people feel like they shouldn't experience that stuff. Like,
But it's
like,
history. Hold on. So that's part of the problem, right? And I love that this movie tackled it head on because it's super
Mhm.
important. It is a museum. They're not showing these kids sexual positions. They're not
Mhm.
talking about anything sexual. It is saying these are gay people from history that your
Yeah.
textbooks don't teach you about. You should know about this shit.
Yeah, but the issue is the example he used was like, oh, when I was this age, I saw these men and all
Sure,
this.
But
Yeah.
he's not saying he's going to do that to a bunch of fucking second graders,
Yeah,
Like-
but like, because like when he says that to her, she's kind of just like, "Oh, whoa," like and you can tell where he's like, "Hey, that's a lot." Like, because I mean, it depends how you feel about things, but I don't think any child should see either straight or gay like that at 12 years old. Like,
But no
even
one's
if it's man,
defending that.
woman.
No one's defending that.
Yeah.
Not here. I'm not defending it. So
Yeah.
don't worry about that.
But like, it was
I'm
it was
defending-
a bad, it was a bad
What?
example for him to use that in
Yeah,
that moment.
But he was in a heated moment.
Yeah.
He had just
Yeah.
dealt with
'Cause
that
his-
dude. Go ahead, Eric.
because the initial question was, why aren't you teaching these kids this stuff?
Right.
It's not like, why aren't you showing these kids?
Why is
dicks
there
and
no
stuff?
anal in your second grade class? I don't understand.
Yeah.
You know, he's not talking about that.
Like, it's like the hidden figures, right? You know, like all the black people throughout history that you don't know about.
Mhm.
Same thing
And-
with gay people.
And fucking shitty ass American schools only teach you that shit for a month. And they teach you the same four motherfuckers when there's hundreds of thousands of people of color and gay people and lesbians who have done so many amazing things. And like, that's what he's arguing. He's not arguing that
Yeah.
second graders should be watching dudes' flaccid penises bounce around. He was just bringing up his point of view and like what he experienced. But like, he's not wrong, you know? I think him in that instance is the most right person at that table.
I mean, shit. It's really just the three of them. The dad and the brother didn't say shit.
No, but
They're
the
just
dad and the
like-
brother are super. They're less okay with it than the mom is, it seems. The brother's really
Yeah.
not okay with it. He's really like, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, it's super uncomfortable.
Yeah. All right. 15 seconds. Say something, Eric. You took a breath. What do you want to say?
I think it's a good mix of comedy, but also like social awareness of what the whole film is about.
Yeah, I agree. And
Because
we're
when the
gonna,
comedy hits and when the social awareness hits, oh yeah, I can't use that film. That's simple.
no, you can. You can use the A-OK. Just don't do this, brother.
Oh
Oh,
shit!
no.
That's how you know it's bad.
Cut
But
it. Cut it.
But you know what's not bad is what we think about Bros. And on 3, we're going to say out loud and give a thumbs up or thumbs down about how we feel. 1, 2, 3. This is a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Big thumbs up.
Thumbs up. 3 thumbs.
And what you can do with your thumb is awkwardly use it to drag the mouse over to the top right-hand corner of the screen and click on our spoiler full review of Bros. If you're on YouTube, wait a week also, and you're gonna watch the Violent Night review that we filmed with the same exact clothes on different days though.
100%. Yeah,
Different
this is
days.
tomorrow. That's tomorrow.
All right, everybody. So go or watch Bros. It's on the Peacock. I almost said the other name we have for it. It's on Peacock. Go watch Bros. It's fantastic. You're fantastic. We love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
All right. All right. Now we're in the spoilers. Full on spoilers. That is fucking crazy. We saw that foursome happen. I was not ready
Yeah.
for that.
I did not expect that in the theater, dude. When they were like showing, I was like, "Oh, they hooked up," and then you're like, and then it slow pans
And
down.
it
And you're
pans
like,
out.
"Whoa, what the?"
The other foursome was funnier to me though, where the other guy
With the
like
random
is not,
dude, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, get out, dude.
Nobody
You're
wants
not
you.
I love.
welcome.
He was like around them, and he was like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just from
He was
watching
like
it happen.
fake moaning.
yeah. He's like, "Oh, massage me,"
Or when
and
he
I love
like, when he like tries to force himself in between all three of them and like get in the
Yeah.
shit. It's so funny, dude.
Dude,
Oh,
it was
man.
great. Like it was hilarious. Dude, I felt bad
Like
for
in
him, but I'm like, bro, no,
Yeah.
know your like awareness.
Just
dude.
get the fuck out of there.
Dude, in
And-
theaters, we were all fucking cackling at that shit, man.
I
It was
bet.
funny.
Because I had thought at first, I was like, oh, he's with the other guy, you know, the guy he knew from high school.
Mm.
And then when you get into it, it's just like, oh, bro, you just walked up. Like, but I mean, why did they just tell him, no, bro, this is a threesome, not a foursome?
Maybe because it's like clearly this movie paints gay dudes as extremely promiscuous.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether or not they're like that, the stereotype is there in media anyways. But maybe they were
Yeah.
just like, you know what? Another dick. Let's throw it in the mix. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, why
you know,
not?
if he's satelliting us, you know, maybe he'll fluff me while I step out and the other two dudes are doing it and then I
Yeah.
hop back in. That dude is the most tragic character in the whole movie though.
But yeah, but I could see too, because he even says it, the main character, where he's like, oh, you know, hey, you know, just fun. I'm trying to be open, this,
Mhm.
that, and the other. So I can see him letting him in, being like, okay, you know, hey, it is what it is. I'm not going to be like, oh, hey, let's just make it us three and make this a thing.
Yeah.
Let's, you know, let whoever in and just be, you know, free flowing. But the other characters didn't give two fucks about that guy.
They ignored the shit out of him.
Yeah, they didn't even kiss him once. He was like trying to
Stupid.
kiss their backs, and they kept just fucking big shouldering him out of the way.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
And steroid shouldering his ass.
Yeah.
So the director of this movie did Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Get Him to the Greek, The 5-Year Engagement, Neighbors, Neighbors 2, Storks, and this movie. I don't know
I've
what
literally
the
seen
fuck
all
a
those
Storks
Damn.
movies
is.
but Storks.
I haven't seen
Storks, I
Neighbors
think, is
2.
animated.
It is animated. It's a WB property. What the
What does it
fuck?
look like?
It's
I'll
just
send
about
it to
like
you. I'll send it to you.
about like the whole babies and storks things.
Yeah.
But
I mean, this dude's made funny movies though. He's a good
Get in the
director.
Greek to me is one of the funniest movies ever. Like P Diddy in that is so funny.
I haven't seen it in
I
so
always wanted
long.
to see that, but I never saw it.
It's on like something. It's one of the, like, and then Jonah Hill is like one of those guys that just I find funny in most things too.
Yeah. And it's like it's cool that it's a continuation of Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which is I like that.
Yeah, because that same character is the same like star Russell Brand's character.
Mhm.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall's funny too. They show some penis too.
You have
Hey,
to have
Yes Man's
stars. Wait,
Uh,
he didn't do Yes Man. What are you talking about?
Nicholas Troller.
Yeah, he didn't
Oh, yeah,
direct
he
Yes
don't-
Man.
Oh, never mind.
mm.
I was like, what?
You're
Did
right.
I say that and my brain forgot it? I was up until like 3:00 last night, so I'm really tired.
That guy's really in like this sphere of comedy though. Like 'cause
I
those
mean-
are all similar comedies.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all Judd Apatow comedies too, aren't they?
Yeah. Well,
Which
when
is
I
why
heard Judd
it's-
was on this, I was like, oh, that makes sense. And I can see like
This
Judd
shit's gonna be
helped
good.
got this push too.
So
Yeah.
I was reading an interview, or I was curious as to why this did poorly. And I think Billy Eichner came out and was like, "Oh, the fucking straights aren't ready for all this gay." But they did research, and gay people didn't go see this movie either. Like they had a large amount of women go see this movie.
It's a WNBA situation.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like your people just aren't fucking out there gunning for you, you know?
Yeah.
Which is super sad because
But
I feel
can
like
see the why, because like they talk about it in the movie when we go back to the dinner scene where you have the guys like the masculine guy feeling that way, probably being like, and there may have been a part of the gay community being like, this movie's like too much for people. And
Yeah,
I'm not gonna,
I don't think that's a very big part of the gay community though.
yeah.
I think
I
that's a
mean,
lot smaller than you think it is.
Yeah, but I feel like if that wasn't the case, more of them would have seen the movie though.
No, I was reading more and I forgot who reported on it, but largely it's there's no story in any of the trailers. It was just a bunch of like gay jokes.
Yeah.
But it
it was
wasn't
like
even like
clickbait.
gay jokes. It was more like oh, this movie's gonna be so important because there's so many gay people in it.
Mhm.
But there was none of the jokes, which
Yeah.
is arguably this movie's strongest point is the jokes. And
Yeah.
it wasn't, there was no romance in it for the romantic comedy. So like
yeah.
it was a lot of what like analysts are throwing it up to is just really fucking bad marketing. Because if they would have
happens a
showed
lot.
some of the jokes, I think it would have done well, like really fucking
Yeah.
well.
But I think like this movie and this trailer, and it gives me major like train wreck like vibes. Like train wreck was way better than I anticipated based off the trailer. And like I think this movie did the same thing, where like if people actually like, because after Trainwreck kind of came out, people were like, oh no, hey, there's more to it than just Amy Schumer and these wild jokes. Like it actually has a story and everything like that, and then more people watched it. But I just wonder if there are not enough people that watch it pushed it out afterwards, like being like, oh no, hey, there is more to this movie than just what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because nothing was even out during that time. Like Smile was out. Smile opened the same weekend as this, and
This
it's
opening
like,
was so weak too, which kind of killed it.
yeah, I just nobody saw
Yeah.
it, so they couldn't even
Yeah.
they couldn't even pop
I mean,
off.
I saw it. I supported it.
Yeah, you're an ally. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, good for you, Eric. I mean, it's like your fifth movie that week though, where you didn't say anything, but
Nah, man, it was my first movie that week. Okay.
Oh, so you paid for that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it also the first week of the month? Like that may have been the movie that you paid for.
You literally paid $20 for that one movie.
Oh fuck.
But yeah, I hope this movie does well. Like I hope that it's a cult classic because that would be
Yeah, I was gonna-
rad
it's a hidden gem. Yeah.
for sure. I mean, this
I
movie
mean-
is so fucking funny.
I think being on Peacock and like being on a streaming service doesn't have a ton of movies, and it being featured so prominently is gonna
Holy
help
shit, is it featured prominently? It's like
Yeah,
the second movie on there.
it. Yeah,
It's
but Peacock
featured
does that.
before Nope, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
What?
But
Yeah.
Peacock does that though. Once Peacock gets a new movie on their thing, they're like, "Hey, watch this. We just got this. Watch this. Watch this." Which I think is super smart because that's what Netflix used to do, and that's why stuff like the Ridiculous Six people is like one of the most streamed things because it's like, hey, when they have something new, they're pushing it, and I think with Peacock pushing this movie,
It's
is
not.
gonna help
It's
it.
not still that. It's not still that high up, right?
In today's day, probably not.
Okay.
I hope not because that movie's terrible.
Because you said it's one of the most streamed, and I was like, "There's no way it still holds that title."
Yeah.
I won't
On
stand.
Peacock.
It held it for a minute though.
Well, yeah, because that was the first Adam Sandler streaming movie, though, right?
I think so.
Damn, they just added Night at the Museum. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Also,
What about a gay night at the museum?
oh shit, a homosexual night at the museum, an LGBTQ plus night at the museum.
Bro, I love seeing the dean from Community. I forget what his actual name is.
Jim Parch is his name because I looked him up.
He's my
'cause
favorite of all time.
I didn't know if he was. Wait, is it Parch? What the hell is it? Perch, maybe. What the hell is this dude's name? Oh no, am I wrong?
Let me look.
I was too litty last night while I was trying to watch this.
Lady off the titty.
But I didn't know if he was gay or not, or bi actually, so I had to look it up, and he's gay.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I really
But why
liked,
not? But why
Or
not
James
cast?
Fresh.
Yeah. Why not cast a bi guy though?
I really liked how he was fighting for bi rights, and the thing with Abraham Lincoln, I totally was on his side with that. I was like, no, I do think Abraham Lincoln did like women as well. I think he
Yeah,
is
he was
bi,
just
not
slanging
gay.
and banging for sure.
Yeah,
but I don't
and
know
I was
though
behind
because
that.
back then you would need to have a beard, you know, regardless
Yeah.
of whether or not you liked it. I kind of lean towards that he's probably just gay and he was just hiding it really well. Because if he didn't hide it, if someone found out he was gay, they were cutting him in half vertically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back then they were putting him in a fucking Iron Maiden and slamming the door
Yeah.
shut.
Yeah.
Like he had to be fucking the broads, otherwise he was done.
And yeah, maybe, but I'm on the side of bi. That's
You
what I'm
just
thinking.
can't
I'm gonna
handle
avoid.
one of the greatest presidents of all time being a gay, huh?
My thing is, if you're in the community, it doesn't matter. I feel like it's all the same to me.
Bro, you saw that goddamn letter that he wrote to Samuel Jackson's character, man?
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson, dude, he told him.
Oh, wait, what?
In the Hateful Eight, you
Oh,
know,
okay,
he had that
okay.
letter.
I still haven't seen it. It's still on my watch list.
It's
Oh,
no longer
wow.
in the top 10 though. Ridiculous Six though.
God bless America. Finally,
and
we
that was
woke
in
up.
2016.
Yeah, that was old.
Yeah.
But like, you know, maybe Bros will be the most streamed fucking LGBTQ rom-com ever.
I wonder how it is doing on streaming. Let's see if we can.
Yeah,
check it.
I was
I
gonna
don't
say,
think we'll
what's
be able
like
to
the
find it.
highest grossing like LGBTQ?
Bro, you
Plus
got
film
the
ever.
Googs right in front of you, baby. Highest.
Hey, you're smart though, man. Come on, I thought you.
I
would
can't.
know.
What? This is the second rom-com that is a gay-led film I've ever seen. The other one being I Love You, Philip Morris, and those two dudes aren't gay.
Yeah, that movie's
Who's-
good though.
It is
Who's
so
Deborah-
good.
Who's Deborah Messing?
Bro,
Like,
who's
I-
Deborah
Oh,
Messing,
I-
bro?
Will and Grace.
She's
They
great.
tell
You're
you-
Will and
yeah.
Grace,
I'm
bro.
like-
Oh,
I'm like Aaron, dude. Come on, I didn't
You,
know.
you've never seen Will and Grace? That show's a fucking bop and a
Nah.
half. Oh,
Hey, that was funny though. He did try like he just like all his like trauma. He just like dropped on her bogus though.
Bro, and she was like, I didn't go up to you and drop all my shit on you.
Yeah, and I think it is called trauma dumping, is what it's called. What people do, and he did it too. And he's like, she just walked in, like chill out.
and she's trying to give you some money, dog. Chill out.
Yeah.
I love at the end though where he's like, "This will be the only time this has ever been said." But Deborah Messing, get the fuck out of my way. And she kills me. So good.
But dude, the jokes fucking hit in this whole fucking film, man.
I mean,
Oh,
when
no,
you have
it's super funny. Yeah.
when you have so many comedic people on staff, it's gonna be hilarious no matter what. You know.
Well, that's the thing too. Like the people behind this, like it's some hitters. Like it's not
Yeah.
like this was thrown together with just like him and like his team. It's like no, it's like, and there's a lot of SNL stuff like attached to
Dude,
this too.
so
like,
many SNL people are in this movie. It's crazy.
Yeah, like so you know it couldn't have been bad.
So the top 10 most financially successful LGBTQ films in history are as follows. Number 10, The Favorite, box office total $95 million. The Hours from 2002, $108 million. Oh my God, Bruno in 2009 with the box office total of 138.8
That
million
movie's
dollars.
so bad.
It's just so weird.
I never saw that.
Really? There's a moment in it where he ties a string to his penis and he makes it dance, and then it stops, and
you see the full penis on screen?
Oh, brother, it is the only thing on screen. So it dances, it stops, and then the head of the penis opens and it goes, Bruno. It's so wild.
Yeah.
It's so
There's
weird.
some weird dynamics in that movie.
Sasha, they literally went, all right, Sacha Baron Cohen, you gave us Kazakhstan. Give us a gay icon. And he made Bruno. Yeah. Alexander, which is from 2004, 167 million. It's got Colin Farrell in it, Angelina Jolie, Val Kilmer, Anthony Hopkins, Jared Leto, Rosario Dawson. Yeah, dude.
Rosario Dawson?
Yeah.
Oh my!
There's a fuck ton of really good people in it. Brokeback Mountain with 178 million. The Birdcage, which is fantastic. The Birdcage is such a good fucking movie. Oh, it's so good. 185 million. Rocketman, 195 million. Philadelphia, 206 million. The Imitation Game, 233 million. And just take a guess at what they put at the number one spot. One prominent gay character. Biopic.
Oh,
Elton John?
No. That was Rocketman already.
Is that movie about the coding or whatever?
No, because that was the Imitation Game.
That.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bohemian Rhapsody in 2018. $903 million. I wouldn't call that an LGBTQ film, but okay. And
I get where they're coming from, though.
But it's wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong.
This is from gaytimes.co.uk. So who am I to go against the gays?
Yeah, if they say it is, they say it is.
Nah, fuck that. I could tell them they're wrong.
No, we gotta be critics as well, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I gotta criticize everybody, gay or not. Huh? What an interesting list. A lot of straights.
Bros, when Bros went to VOD, it was, they say, like, some people had it said it was like number 2 at Vudu and then 3 on iTunes. So like it still was making money other routes, and then plus with the streaming rights. But yeah,
I mean, I'm sure people were like, I just don't want to go see that in theaters.
Yeah,
you know.
I want to see it in the privacy of my home.
Yeah, I want to watch dudes get blown.
Even with all that and ticket sales, they're saying that they might earn 50% back. So unless Peacock literally gave them 50% of their budget in that to put to stream it, which they wouldn't. Like
no. It's the movie is owned by the same people who own Peacock.
Oh, so yeah, this movie ain't making no money because I don't know how many subscribers.
It was always gonna go. I don't think it's pulling in any subscribers.
Yeah.
But if people are watching on the ad-supported tier, you know, it's a movie they own already, so all the ad revenue is going to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're number 9 on the streaming list, Peacock.
Oof. Really?
Surprisingly, or I guess not surprisingly, Amazon Prime is number 2.
Number 1 being Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, Wednesday just came out and bought that. That's why. Like,
yeah.
I mean, anyways, but
people really ate that shit up.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Like, it did better than Stranger Things. That was crazy.
Well, it's got more watch time, but it makes sense because the episodes are shorter and the season is shorter, so you can watch it quicker and maybe even rewatch it in the same amount of time that it would take you to watch Stranger Things once. So that's why the watch time is better.
Not a super fan, dude.
What? Not if you're a super fan?
You just watch all that shit one day.
No, and then you watch it again the next day.
Yeah. Pump those numbers up.
Those are rookie numbers.
So Peacock is owned by NBC Universal, so they definitely own Bros, like the film or whatever.
Yeah. And I assume they're gonna like rights are gonna go out to people after getting their films.
Probably, yeah, I could see it.
Like I could see it being on Hulu, like down the road type thing.
What the fuck was I gonna say? I forgot.
But I mean, a lot of people didn't watch it because it's on Game Man. Like that's a lot it is.
You could maybe say that for like where we live. Yeah. I mean, there are parts of America where that is true, and then I think there's more parts of America that I don't think that's true at all. Where it's like
They
just didn't think the movie would be funny.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
The marketing sucked.
Yeah, it was more so the
But
marketing, less so the fact that it's two gay dudes.
I think it's weird though, because like if this movie, like when I saw this movie, I was like, okay, I wouldn't have thought, oh, this movie is not gonna be funny. Like when I look at this movie, I was like, oh no, based on the people behind it, this movie probably is gonna be funny.
But you're not the average viewer, right?
Well, they need
Yeah,
to
you
No.
see 60 movies a fucking year.
Yeah, like you know, you can't base it off your own personal experience. You gotta remember that normal people need strong marketing because the marketing is gonna work on them. They don't care about who's directing it or who's producing it. None of that shit. They only care about trailer make me laugh, haha, and that'll make them
They
go see
needed
a
to
movie.
throw Judd Apatow's name on there strong. They needed it.
I don't think Judd
Big.
Apatow's a selling point anymore.
I don't know, man.
I mean, you can
I don't
like
think it would have
him.
hurt at this point, though.
I don't
Like-
think it would have helped though. Like,
Yeah.
especially
What has
because
he done recently?
he hasn't directed shit. Because the
Not
last
shit,
movie he
yeah.
directed was trash, I want to say. But like,
The last
Bubble
movie
he's
did-
doing.
Yeah.
he also wouldn't have. Yeah, he did The Bubble in 2022, which is like one of
Oh,
the
I guess-
most hated films of the year. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
shit.
2 years
but he-
ago he did Staten Island, but I don't think anybody even saw that movie.
So that movie was,
Nah.
I thought it was really good, but I think it also came out in 2020. So
It
like,
did.
what do you know? That's
Nobody saw it. Everybody
Yeah,
was too
and it
busy
came out
watching. They were watching Tiger King. You know,
yeah.
they weren't
And
going to
it came
watch
out
that.
June. Yeah, its initial release was June 12th, 2020, in the middle of like
And it-
lockdown,
And it
stuff,
dropped
yeah.
during lockdown. That, like, if anybody was
Yeah.
going to watch a fucking rando movie, it was going to be during that. And nobody
But
saw
you had
it.
to pay like $14 for it. No one was
Yeah,
doing that.
it made 2.2 million on a $35 million budget.
Oh, King of Staten Island?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the last movie that everybody really liked of his was Trainwreck. And I didn't even bother
Yeah.
seeing that one.
Yeah, Trainwreck's hilarious.
That's what I've heard.
But like
I
Judd,
like Trainwreck.
even Staten Island's really funny. Like his movies are funny, whether they have good stories or not is a whole nother story.
Right. But clearly it's not enough to get people in seats because he directed,
Yeah.
like Trainwreck, people saw. Nobody saw
Yeah.
May It Last, the portrait of the Everett brothers. Nobody.
I don't
Doesn't
even
even
know
have
what
a
that is.
wiki.
It doesn't even have a wiki. That's terrible. And nobody saw King of Staten Island. And
Oh, it's a documentary.
and everybody who saw The Bubble said it was absolute dog shit. Like Judd Apatow.
I mean, the bubble looks like it's trash.
it got pretty shit on. But like Judd Apatow is not a selling point anymore. Even as a producer, I don't think anybody gives a shit. They're gonna be like the dude who made fucking Pineapple Express, the dude who produced that.
Yeah, knocked up 40-year-old virgin, all those classics.
Cable
Yeah,
guy?
the classics that are almost 20 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
I just
But that's also why you would think this would be like, because those are like raunchy comedies, and I don't know like how they wanted to market this film. If they wanted to have it as like so raunchy.
none of those
like,
comedies
like,
though were as raunchy as this one.
Yeah, I
In
don't think so.
comparison, those movies are not raunchy at all.
the 40-year-old virgin is pretty raunchy.
Dude, you do not
I never
see,
saw that.
but you don't see a guy getting blown by two other dudes while his boyfriend is kissing him.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold a candle. And they
Bro,
were
you don't
raunchy.
see the whole play fighting fucking.
Dude, the slapping that they were doing was so funny to me.
This shit was
That was
hilarious.
funny.
But like, you know, those movies were raunchy in 2005 and 2007. Like now they're tame.
You gotta be a whole new level. Yeah, you gotta be a whole new level of raunchy to even be raunchy.
But there's a ton of movies where there's orgies happening. It only seems raunchy because it's dudes, and I don't even care that it's dudes. It's all the same to me. Whether it's 4 women, 4 men, 2
yeah,
two,
but
it's
neither
all the
one
same
of
to
those
me.
two movies had that. I'm only talking about those two
No.
movies. I don't care about Eyes Wide Shut. We're not talking about Eyes Wide Shut. We're talking about 40-year-old virgin and Knocked Up.
Yeah.
All right? And this is 40.
Oh, Knocked Up, I wouldn't even say it's like not
No,
really that
Knocked
raunchy.
Up is Knocked Up is pretty raunchy. They have a whole
No,
10 minutes where they're talking about the website they want to set up, where it's all like, oh yeah, and you know it'll give you the time code for the tits. You know, like.
But like, it's one thing to say it; it's another thing to show it. Like,
I mean, but the 40-year-old virgin doesn't have anything like that either.
I have to
I'm trying to think of the
rewatch it.
There's-
raunchiest thing I've seen.
There's one
I think
titty
it's
in
the
the
boys
40
episode.
probably. There's
Oh yeah,
There's one
that's
titty in the
crazy.
40-year-old virgin, and it's
Yeah.
he's at the date, and her titty falls out of the shirt, and that's the raunchiest part. There's no other raunch in the movie.
I mean, the bathroom scene with Elizabeth Banks is pretty raunchy, where she's pleasuring herself with the head of the shower head.
Is that
like it's
in
called.
40-Year-Old Virgin?
Yeah.
Find me a
I don't
link.
remember
Send me
that.
a link. If it's
I
on
don't know if I want
YouTube,
to find those links.
no. If it's on YouTube, it's not that raunchy. You're not finding no blowjob scene on YouTube. I'll tell you what.
I bet you I can.
Bet. I'll give you $5 right now if you find the blowjob
Someone
scene.
ripped it, uploaded it all to YouTube.
It's got to be on a
I'm not
verified
saying it's
account.
gonna stay up.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's gonna stay up.
Oh, that sure sounds like you're gonna upload it to YouTube.
hey, you said it just has to be there. I'll upload to our channel.
Oh no, we're gonna get a strike. Judd Apatow's gunning for us after this movie made no
Yeah.
fucking money. But yeah, I think if the marketing would have been better, I think this movie would have popped the fuck off. You just had to,
Yeah.
because there are still large swaths of America that are not okay with gay people. That's all. That's gonna be a point until those people die and their descendants are all wiped off the face of the earth. So like you got to really market it correctly so that people will even go see it. Because if the marketing is off, nobody's
Yeah.
gonna go see it.
True.
Yeah, if they just did a rom-com marketing thing, just a plain old rom-com, shit would have hit.
You'd have had some grannies in there thinking it was gonna be a nice, wholesome movie,
Yeah, oh, what is this?
and then
Oh, these two
sex.
brothers.
Oh wow, they're kissing. They must really love each other.
It's gonna be like the Egyptian thing in the background. They're brothers,
All right, we're at.
which is interesting though, because when I look at that, it looks like two men kissing.
Yeah, I mean, but when you're trying to say, gay people don't exist in history, you're gonna make up
Yeah.
some shit, no matter what.
I'm interested to see. I know you said that gay people didn't really show up to see this, but I'm interested to see what they think about it. Like, what's their review about it?
But I mean, I think anyone
Yeah,
that
I don't
has
know.
watched the movie has liked it. It's just like no one's watching it.
I'll have you know, it only has a 90% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
The Metacritic one's lower, right?
Yeah, the two things don't make sense because on Rotten Tomatoes, you got a 4.5 out of 5 from 500 plus verified ratings, but fucking Metacritic is a 4.0 from 181.
Hmm.
Skip this movie if you're getting tired of the gay community whining about their cause. Oh, okay, well that's why.
What the?
all the
I mean, like-
homophobes showed up to Metacritic, baby. What up?
Well, and the thing too, like that's the issue with some of those things because like it if those people have a disdain for the gay community and like they say, oh, they already showed too much, they're trying to project or whatever,
Yeah.
they're gonna give it bad rating no matter what. They're not gonna look at that movie objectively whatsoever.
Yeah.
So like there's too much bias when it comes into like a reviewing a movie like this. Unless you can literally look into it and be like, hey, I watched this as a movie. I didn't care whether or not these characters were gay, straight, or whatever. But like a lot of people I still feel are gonna be like, oh no, they are always pushing these, characters in these shows and movies and like I mean who cares?
I mean, yeah, but it is important to care about it though. Because if you don't care, that's how there's no representation, Like not caring about the fact that this is like, this cast is like 90% gay, which I don't think has ever fucking happened before in film. Like this is a super important movie because of how representative it is of not only like gay and lesbian people, but bi people and trans people and even allies, like his friends that he meets up with are so fucking supportive and like such good people and nice people to him that like it is super important to have a movie like this. It just sucks that there are people like Wall and Cuz who say, man, they really have a serious gay agenda being pushed around to kids and adults. And now the showrunners and actors are saying, if you don't like this movie, you're a racist. Bro, nobody said that. If anything, they said if you don't like it, you're a homophobe. Definitely not a fucking racist.
Yeah.
One of the Rotten Tomatoes ones, they said, it's distinctively smug about pitching itself as a landmark while being really more of a setback, and it's pretty low, a pretty low bar for the next one to surmount.
No description as to why, though.
What does that
Daily
mean?
Telegraph UK.
Oh, well. Yeah, I don't trust those
See, I
goddamn
mean,
Brits.
it seems like a lot of the ratings are based off just like the gay aspect, less so the movie itself, though.
No, I
After
mean,
dismantling the inclusive representation component of the film, all that's left is a predictable and conformist rom-com.
but like
Oh,
that's
see,
what
okay,
a
I can get
rom-com.
behind that.
But I don't think it's But like that's what a rom-com is, though.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't
like,
trying to
I can
fuck with the
understand-
formula. They were trying to
Yeah.
add to they were trying to add something on top, you know? You
Yeah.
got a perfect cake. Rom-coms are perfect for the genre. They're perfect.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter if they're predictable or not, as long as the characters are good, that's why you're watching it. Because you know
Yeah.
what the fuck
But
a rom-com's gonna be.
Yeah, I can understand though someone saying be like, oh, okay, outside of that, it's still just a traditional rom com. I was hoping for something more. Sure.
I
Like,
don't
it
think
is
that's a
what it is.
valid argument, though.
I mean, this movie, you like if you're going into, you're like, oh, like because of the subject material, you almost like, oh, this shit could break the mold, and then it really didn't.
Who thought that? Nobody thought that.
I mean, it could though. Like, and then
but
if you went
any
into it
movie
hoping for
can
more,
break the mold. Any movie
I
could do
wouldn't say
that.
any movie.
No, any movie could have. What? Like, before you see it, any movie could break the mold. It's just that when you do see it, you realize that no, it's just another movie in the same genre. Like,
Mhm.
I don't think going into a movie like that expecting it to break the mold is a good idea for anybody, because you're almost always going to be disappointed. You know?
Yeah, I mean, but they did, and then they said, "Hey, this shit traditional," and I said, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, but that's why it's an invalid argument, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think it's a good argument. Being like, who would have thought that a rom-com would be like a rom-com? I don't know, motherfucker. They only had it in the marketing that it was a romantic comedy. You know what you're getting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To expect something more is just stupid.
I don't know. I mean, I can see expecting something more out of a movie that's going to take the risk to do like a full-on like gay lover type movie, to do something totally different.
How is it a risk if Brokeback Mountain came out in 2005, though?
I mean, I also don't think that did well though. It's not
Brokeback Mountain didn't do well? You're crazy.
Yeah, what's its numbers?
You're insane.
What was it, like number 4 or 5?
It was number 4 in the
On
gay
that list?
list, but it did really well. $14 million budget, $178 million box office.
All right, that's good.
It did more than 10 times its budget.
Yeah,
But
but it also had like the actors behind it were a lot like higher caliber.
Oh no, I agree, but like,
Yeah.
you know, they've been doing this
But
shit since 2005 is what I'm saying. Like, I
But
don't
I
think
also know a
having
lot
2
of
gay
people-
leads is that crazy.
But I know a lot of people that watched Brokeback Mountain until it really came out were like, "Oh, I had no idea this was going to be about 2 cowboys' lover story."
I never heard that. I thought everybody knew what that movie was about, because everybody.
Was the trailer pretty good?
I don't
Shit,
know
I
if the
don't remember
trailer
the
was
trailer,
good,
though.
but like everybody saw it because of the material.
No, once they saw it, then it turned into like, "Oh, it's that gay cowboy movie."
I don't think so. I don't think that was the discourse around it, but like, you know, it won Oscars. Like, to say that it's a risk to have two gay leads as the front.
Well, look how far
is-
apart those movies are, though. It's not like it was like, "Oh, now we got it for years after." Like those
No.
movies are so far apart from each other.
Yeah, but like that doesn't mean that it's a risk. I wouldn't argue, because
I think people felt it was a risk. If not, they would have continued to do it.
I mean, but I'm sure if we looked up what movies had 2 gay leads, we would see a bunch and be like, I didn't even think about that. You know?
I mean, though, we're getting another one this year, literally, though. Like, so it does seem like they are like it's going to be more like normal, because the Jim Parsons movie is 2 gay leads.
Yeah, I mean, but we also just heard from that list about a bunch of gay-led movies or whatever. I don't know. I just don't think it's a risk, right?
But also, 2 of those, it was not just like, I guess it depends too, because I feel society still looks at like, oh, if it's 2 women leads and it being lesbian, then being more okay with it than if it's 2 men leading.
I don't know if
Like-
it's all of society. You're casting wide nets here. You think
you don't-
heterosexual men, sure. Heterosexual women don't give a fuck. I can guarantee that.
I don't think that's true. I think because so much stuff is still based on like religion, and especially in the United States, that there's people that are going to say like, "Oh, I'm against this because."
But
it's
that's
against
not
my
true
beliefs."
either, though. Religion has never been smaller in the United States. You're talking about a vocal minority. These are the smallest amount of fucking people. That's like when you look at something like abortion. That was like 60% approval rating across America. That's not most of America.
Yeah,
you know,
but
like
you act like that's not 40% is not a huge like number,
but it's
still,
not
though.
most.
Yeah, but like if you look at it, there, but how like you get those numbers, and it's not like you poll the whole like United States. You poll portions.
But that's
and
what
then based on
polling
those
is, though. You can't You'll never poll everybody. That's impossible.
Yeah.
Polling is taking subsections of data and then extrapolating answers from it. That's just
Yeah,
what
but a
data is.
60-40 split could very well be a 50-50 split.
There's no fucking way. Absolutely not. It's just not. Like there's no way that there's that much variance in the data is what it like there's just no way.
But like when you look at the score, like we even just like the Metacritic score where they're like, oh, where people are like, oh, because of they're pushing agenda. If they only show like 100 people and it's like, oh, 4 out of 100 like this, it's like, okay, yeah, but now if you pull another 100 people, it could totally change the numbers.
Yeah, but you're assuming that it's small data. Like those polls are done professionally. This isn't Metacritic polling whether or not, people are religious. And
but also you act like polls can't be like skewed and polls can't be like
when they're national polls like this, they're typically not skewed though. The people that are doing this are typically people who do polls professionally to get data like this to then give to different political parties to move forward, right? Like it's just not skewed. All you're doing is just assuming the data is wrong because you disagree with it. But like that's not true.
I just think it's crazy to think that you think we're so far ahead where people are like, oh no, this doesn't bother me.
No, I'm not saying that though. I'm saying that what I initially said was it's not a risk anymore. I don't think having 2 gay leads in a film is a risk. I just don't. I think the reason this movie did bad is because the marketing was really fucking shitty. And that's what analysts are saying too. Like people who analyze movie data professionally are saying that. So it's like, I'm not pulling this out of my ass. These are people whose job it is to do this shit because Universal wants to know why this movie did poorly. I don't give a shit why the fuck this movie did poorly. All I know is that I saw this data from analysts whose job it is to do this. And they're not going to fucking lie to Universal. They're just going to give them the data. There's no point in them lying. But also, you saying that like America is mostly religious is just false. There are polls that show that like Christianity and our religiousness in general has fallen drastically because people don't go to church anymore. But
just because you don't go to church and you're not practicing does not mean you still don't believe in like those values. Even though I don't think there's anything wrong with being gay or not, there's still a lot of people that still feel that way.
But I think that's anecdotal just based on the people that you're around though, because especially us being Hispanic men, being gay is still not fucking cool with most older Hispanic men. Like that, and you could contribute that to religious beliefs and shit like that, but like that would still be anecdotal just because we are Hispanic men. The people that we know are Hispanic people, and Hispanic people typically are more religious or act more religious, right? Which is typically just a front to be a fucking bigot. Like that's mostly what people put it on is, oh, well, I'm a Christian, so, I'm allowed to think gay people are bad. But like, I don't think that's most of America, I don't think so at all. And to say that that's why it's a risk I think is bullshit, because I think the amount of people who don't give a fuck if anybody is gay is way larger than the people who care. Especially in a negative sense. I think there's definitely more people who care in a positive sense and like who want people to feel okay being gay. Like I think there's more people than the people who dislike gay people.
But I think too, it's like there's obviously the people that don't like them. There's people that like them, and then there's a ton of people that are indifferent. Like,
but the indifferent people aren't leaving hateful comments though.
But the indifferent people, like on certain polls, may be like, oh well, since I don't really care, sure, it's fine. And then that's just the issue with it because it depends like where you're polling from, who you're looking at. Because if I'm indifferent about it, I'm not gonna poll negatively on something.
Right. So what are you talking about?
But they still may not be like, okay, I don't really care, but like they still may not support this. Like I just think it's still a risk.
If you don't support it though, why are you saying like you do support it?
Then you don't care, I guess.
But like then you do care if you don't support it. So this person doesn't care but doesn't support it, but supports it on paper.
I mean, if someone gives you a poll and you're like, all right, I'll do this poll, like I guess
then why wouldn't they just answer how they feel? You're assuming that this person is just like answering wildly, just fucking crossing all boxes.
I mean, we also didn't see the poll they did. I don't know what the questions are, how they're stated.
Yeah, but like that doesn't matter when you're looking at the fact that like I don't think religion played a big part in this movie doing poorly. There's just no way. I don't think so at all.
But like they're saying like, oh, it was marketed poorly, but like it also depends on where, like, who did they poll to, like, this, like, just, I know you're saying like, oh, they're accredited company.
It's
they
all
do this
across
for a
America,
living.
dude. It's just all across America. That's typically how you poll stuff like that. Like Gallup polls are all across America.
Mhm.
That's just what it is. And like, just because you're unaware doesn't mean that you should automatically cast the shadow of doubt, you know?
I don't know. I just think you have too much faith in this poll being like, oh no, it's gonna be right, when polls polls get messed up all the time.
Yeah, but just saying it's wrong without looking into it doesn't make any sense, is what I'm saying.
Well, you haven't showed me the poll. Like, I don't even know what.
Well, yeah, but I it's also not my burden of proof, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Like, all I'm saying is like, why automatically go, oh no, that's wrong. There's no way
Well, I
it
mean,
was
but
right.
you could have looked at this poll, and I could find another poll that says the total opposite thing. Like it.
Yeah, and if it's from an accredited polling place like Gallup News, I'll believe it. But like, you're not gonna find anything like that. You're gonna find something from like Churches of America. Bro, I don't give a. Of course, they're only gonna poll people who go to fucking church. Yeah, they're gonna say that it's booming. But like, you know, this is like data that's used to like track things. That's like saying, well, I don't trust the census because not everybody answers it. Yeah, that's a part of polling. Not everybody's gonna answer it.
Yeah, but it's like known in the censuses that people, especially Hispanic people, don't do it. So like that is like, it's kind of hard to trust the census in certain areas.
I mean, but like, you have
But
no other
I
numbers
think,
to
like-
go on.
Yeah, like
I
Joey
mean,
said,
I think everyone should do the census. Like, you
I'm
should.
not.
It's
I'm not
better
even
for
arguing
you,
that. I
but-
think that's understood. But what I'm saying is like,
Yeah.
you can't argue against it if you don't have other numbers to go on. You know, and like, just because you know 2 Hispanic people that don't fill out the census doesn't mean that swaths of Hispanic people are filling it out. You know.
I mean, but based on the way the politicians are going about pushing to get people in like minority communities to do the polls, it's clearly a problem. Like, if not, they wouldn't like be pushing so hard for people of color to do polls or to do the census.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but I don't know. Like, your argument is like, you know, I could find a poll that says otherwise, but like, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good poll. Like, these are polls
Yeah,
that
but your
everybody
argument
trusts.
is, I found one poll and it's the end all be all.
No, there are. Well, oh my god, this is so fucking pointless. Regardless, like, it is understood that like religion in a sense is just falling. Numbers are falling all over the place in America. Like, regardless of whether or not you believe it, that's just the fact. Like,
Yeah, but
it's
that's
just
still
falling.
a decent amount of portion that will not watch this movie, and it hurts its numbers.
But it doesn't hurt it like how bad the numbers are right now. There's no fucking way. Like, I don't think the
No.
religious aspect is the most important aspect here.
Okay. I just think if it was like this movie, if it was not like 2 gay dudes, I think would have done so much better.
I don't.
Which
I
I
think
think-
it would have just fallen into the gutter, because it really would have just been cookie cutter as shit. I mean, it would have just gone to the Hallmark Channel, is what it would have fucking done. Because how many?
No, I mean this group of people would have still put this movie out the way they put it out. Like it just wouldn't have been following 2 gay leads.
But then they wouldn't have put it out the way that they put it out. They probably wouldn't have made the movie if it wasn't featuring 2 gay leads. Because
yeah,
when was the last time Judd Apatow made a fucking rom-com?
shit, I feel like all his movies are rom-coms. But I mean, we just went over his movies, so
Right.
like, the last couple haven't been.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, he probably would not have put this movie out. This movie wouldn't have gotten made if it wasn't Billy Eichner and Nicholas Stoller doing the story.
Yeah.
You know, like,
So it'd probably be Trainwreck 2015 would be the last like rom-com, I'd say.
yeah. So, like, my
Yeah,
man
so it's
hasn't
been a
put out
minute.
fucking rom-coms in 7 years.
Yeah.
Or hasn't produced one, I guess.
But like, I just think it is unfortunate though, because like, if I just think there are still groups of people that won't watch it for that reason, when I don't think that should have been a reason for them not to watch it. And like, I think there's just so many groups that may have like, oh, because of subject material, or because even for marketing. I understand marketing is important, but like, it's one of those things where I feel like I don't understand why word of mouth hadn't pushed this movie further ahead, because like,
I mean,
anybody
you
that
said
has-
it. You said it yourself. They're bigots. They don't like gay people, so they're not going to
Yeah.
see it no matter what. It doesn't matter if their gay friend said it was funny. If Martha is a fucking devout Christian, she's not going to see it. Like,
Yeah.
but they also didn't expect to get those people, I'm sure. I don't think Billy Eichner wrote this script and was like, oh, fucking Catholics are going to eat this shit up, brother.
Yeah.
Like, there's no fucking way, you know?
Yeah, but they may have also, like, sometimes people make movies and they're like, I just want to, like, they may have made this because they want to show, like, their point of view, their message. They know it's going to lose money. Like, and I don't think they made this movie think they were ever going to make money.
No, they did.
Like,
And the analysts thought it was going to make money too. So,
see,
I mean, you
That's
can
so
disagree
ballsy,
with
I
it
feel.
too, but I mean,
Yeah.
no, there are multiple factors in here that point it towards it at least making money. It's it's initially projected to gross $8 to $10 million from opening in 3,300 theaters in its opening weekend. That's what it was projected to make, was $8 to $10 million in its opening weekend, and it made $14 million during its entire run. So, like,
Yeah.
no, people thought this was gonna make money. I mean, there's so
shit,
many.
where are they getting that information from though? If it's so wrong,
You're gonna have to look that one up because I don't fucking know.
because like it's
That's their
one thing to be
job.
off on those. Yeah, it's one thing to be off a little bit because those numbers are always like estimates, projections. Like, you know, Disney always goes under because so they can look like they made more.
Yeah.
Like that happens, but to be off that big is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they probably thought there's a ton of fucking funny people in this movie. It's gonna do really well, and then
Yeah.
just nobody saw it. But that shit happens all the time. Look at
Yeah,
Look at Look at the Ridley Scott movie with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon in it. Nobody saw that fucking movie.
That one should have killed. Like that, yeah.
So you
what is that
honestly
movie called?
can't
Doubt,
predict
or
the
is it
fucking
Doubt?
market then. No, it's
Yeah.
The Last Duel in Paris or some shit like that.
Yeah, I think it's just the last duel, but yes, I think
But like you can't predict the market.
no.
Because you know you're one bad fucking trailer away from nobody going to see it, regardless of how it's. This movie's probably one of the best comedies of the year.
It is. I don't think it's really even debatable. But like I think also too they hope that it was far like removed enough from like COVID that they were like, oh, more people are going, but there's still a lot of people that aren't going to the movies. Like unless you're a goddamn Maverick.
No, I don't think so. I think movies are doing pretty well overall. We haven't seen very many movies that didn't make money. Like
Yeah, but it's like but it's like a lot of them have been Marvel movies that always make money. Like there's a lot of movies that have like been like but it's I guess the
I
time
don't
of year
think
we're at
so.
is-
We've only
looks
seen
bad.
how many Marvel movies in 2022? Like 3
3
of the
Yeah.
of the 30 movies we've seen this year.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
What is,
This
I
movie
mean,
is
that's a
just
number we
one
could
of
look
those
up.
fucking tragedies that fell by the wayside. You know?
I do think in the coming years, though, like in the next 5 years, people are going to look back at this and then be like, oh, this is great. And I do think it's going to get a run. Like, and then also, too, we're going to be further, like, pushed further across in, like, society where we're more accepting of things. Even whether, like, we say, like, hey, that's a reason or not. I do think more people in the next 5 years are going to be willing to watch this movie. And also, too, like, the word of mouth can get out stronger, like, hey, how good this movie is. So, like, I think in time, this movie could re-release and do well.
It's hard to tell though, because I don't know. So many movies, so many fantastic movies go unnoticed 5-10 years after they come out. Though I don't know if this movie is stand out enough for it to matter in 5 years. I think it's going to be a matter of another Judd Apatow movie is going to come out in 5 years. We're going to look at the list of movies he produced and we're going to be like, damn, dude, Bros was so fucking good. What happened?
But I think too, like looking at compared to like Judd's stuff, like this movie is top tier compared to some of those. And
but these are just his producers though.
Yeah.
So we'd have to
he
look at
produces a lot of good shit though.
Yeah. But he also produces a lot of fucking stinkers.
Oh yeah. I feel like when you do comedy, it's real like you're either gonna have a all-time classic or not. So the box office for 2022 right now is at $6 billion. Like, and it'll probably be 8 by the end of the year because
in America only
gonna do well. So this is
or worldwide.
Let me see. This is domestic box office.
Okay.
So can I find worldwide or no? So right now we're gonna go off of just domestic. On average, like it makes $10 to $11 million, like US is kind of what it makes. But then obviously the last 2 years are low because of pandemic.
COVID, yeah.
So like this one still might be a little under, which is so it's definitely box office coming back. but it's still not fully back, I feel.
Yeah, but I don't think
Because-
it'll ever be fully back. People have gotten so accustomed to just watching movies at their home. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't give a shit about the screen being bigger or having comfortable seats or being in Dolby or IMAX, what's the point of even going to the fucking movies? If I was just some fucking rando, I would never go to the movies, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, yeah, but I like. There's less people that like, oh, like I like the movie going experience. I feel nowadays because it's so comfortable at home. Like at home is so nice,
And they don't want to put their fucking phones away. They don't want to not talk. They don't want to silence their shit. I think that's a big portion of it too, because I'm going to talk about it during Violent Night. A motherfucker just had his track phone out. His fucking
Oh, yeah,
flip
I'm
phone
sure
out. And he was
not caring.
and he went to go see it with
Bro.
one of his boys, and they literally at the beginning of the movie were like, "Hey man, Grinder going off on your phone, bro?" During Violent Night, during the
so
opening of
stupid.
Violent Night. I was like, one, he's got a flip phone, motherfucker. He ain't got Grinder on that. I know for a fact
Yeah.
Grinder ain't on that. But also,
That'd be impressive.
yeah, he fucking hacked it. He reverse engineered
Yeah.
it. But also, like, dude, you're not at home, dog. What the
Yeah.
fuck are you talking for? The trailers are done, by the
People
way.
don't know how to act right, dude.
People just, those
Yeah.
2 years really took away people's ability to know how to act in a goddamn
Yeah.
theater. It's ridiculous.
But I could also see too a large group of like parents rather being at home now because it's like, oh, I can watch this at home. I don't have to get a babysitter, stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't think, I think this is the new norm for theaters.
Yeah,
I don't think
We
it's
still
ever
need
going
a
to
few
bounce
more
back.
years though. Yeah, like because this is the first. I think like I'd say this is the first full year of movies since the pandemic. So like
Yeah.
next year we'll kind of get a better projection because it's kind of hard to go off of anything prior to because so much has changed. Because every year
I'll
it
have
was
you know
going
we
up.
have the flu of 1918 to go off of, okay? And they were making movies back then. So we could look it up if we wanted.
Let me.
But I'm not doing that math.
19.
And we've been doing this for an hour and 2 minutes, so we're moving on.
Yeah.
But we have
Gotcha.
it. We have it something to look up. All right, we're going to the questions now. No more. I don't want nothing about this
No
movie.
more.
No more. You get a line and that's it. A sentence.
I thought it was funny. I liked it.
Motherfucker! I said no more. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, that was 2 lines.
Yeah, that was 2 lines. There was 2
Oh,
periods. You
fuck.
son of a bitch. Oh, some English isn't my first language. But you know what is your first language? Is James's favorite part.
My favorite part is actually when he's in the museum for the first time
Who
and
is
like
he?
he sees himself in the reflection. The boyfriend.
Aaron.
Okay, Aaron. Okay.
I thought it was real touching because like you see him like struggling and you see him like battling through like his own insecurities, and I thought it was like a real touching moment. And then he disappears again, which I thought was funny.
My man is the Batman, by the way.
Yeah,
We didn't bring it up during the review, but holy
Yeah.
shit, he is swift. I need
Dude,
to start.
it's so yeah.
I gotta start taking testosterone, dude. Fuck it.
Yeah, have to.
Eric, what is your favorite part of Bros?
I really like the rom-com of it, man. That's just the like the Provincetown bit. I thought that was great, man. I thought it was really sweet.
So,
Yeah.
really quick, we've done one other rom com this year. Which is better, Marry Me or Bros?
Bros.
Marry Me is a strong rom com, though, dog. And Owen Wilson, bro.
Yeah, Owen
And-
Wilson is.
And they're heterosexual? Come on. Bangers.
You're right.
Yeah. I think Bros is a better movie, but like Marry Me, like one, it has some banger songs. Like it has like a lot of other things going for it. Like as you know, it has some more aesthetic.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
Bros is more calm, I think, which I like.
Yeah, there is
Yeah,
more
but
cock
it's
in
also
Bros.
rom.
Yeah, there's way more cock in Bros. You're right.
Yeah.
Owen Wilson's not
Yeah,
trying to hang
calm.
dong.
No.
I just, wanted to lay that out there because I don't think we saw any other rom-coms this year, did we?
We could have, but who knows?
I don't think
That's
so,
James'
though.
apartment. I don't know.
That is James's department. If he doesn't know, nobody knows.
Yeah.
I don't know what my favorite part is, dude. I think the part that really got me last night at 2 a.m. when I was watching it was when he took the steroids, but he missed his window, so he's raging in the fucking museum. He's like ripping the
Yeah.
flag. He's like, I'm on steroids. It's just that shit.
I'm a roid rage.
Yeah, that shit killed me. He's like, I missed my fucking window. It's too good.
Yeah, he
And
did.
then he does
miss
the
his
thing. He's
window.
like, "Hey, bro."
Yeah, he kind of like he catfishes
Catfishes.
that guy. And the dude's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, 100%.
I love that the dude was like, "You're not a fucking killer, are you?" And he's like, "No, I just wanted to see." Too good.
Yeah.
The whole
He totally
sequence
changed
is so
his
good.
personality.
Yeah. James, what was your least favorite part of Bros?
So based on the trailer, I thought I was gonna like some of the other characters more, but they didn't really have a bigger role in it. As big of a role as I thought, like all the board member people, I guess you would say. So like pretty much all their shit was in the trailer. So like I was a little underwhelmed by them.
Their first meeting for sure was in the entirety of the trailer. I would agree with that. I think the later stuff wasn't as much, but there wasn't a lot more after that. Yeah.
Because like their joke where it like was just prominent in the trailer where it's like, oh, the gays had their thing or whatever. It's such a throwaway line in that, and I'm like, oh, I think I would have really thought that was funny in the context if it wasn't in the trailer so much.
Yeah.
Like so then that like that's like so one of the board meetings was like, oh, it's kind of just there's not really much going on here.
Yeah. That kind of builds onto my least favorite part, but we're gonna do Eric next. Eric, what was your least favorite part of Bros?
It's super nitpicky because I don't think there's much. But the way the dude was texting the whole time on the fucking on his phone, he literally fucking he would be like this. I'm like, bro, you can pretend you're texting.
How'd you guys feel about the way that they portrayed text, though? Because some movies do the pop-up text. Other movies, you're like reading over their shoulder and you're reading it. How'd you guys feel about the way that they portrayed it here, where it was just them talking but without moving their mouths?
I like that. I prefer that, I think.
I guess I didn't really care. I thought it was funny though. Like so, I think it didn't matter because the interactions were so good.
Yeah, I agree that it was super good because you were getting their inflection. And like Billy Eichner is like, and he's fucking an actor. I think, the two of them playing off each other was fantastic because it's the straight man and the dude who's off his fucking rocker, which is cool. Yeah. Like that's a fun dynamic. My least favorite part though, I don't know if the B plot was strong enough. So, like, the A plot is, of course, Bobby and Aaron getting together, them discovering their love for each other. That's the A plot. But the B plot of him, like, I gotta give $5 million to open up the museum. I was like, damn, they just fucking threw something at the wall and this is what stuck, huh? This could have been better.
So, like, I totally get what you're saying because, like, at no point in the movie did I feel like they weren't going to get it done. Like, I feel like they did a really bad job of, like, there was no urgency.
There's no tension at all. None.
No. Like I didn't like throughout the whole movie. I never felt like I knew they were gonna get together. I knew this was gonna run through. Like, and I feel like it needed more drama, but I guess it's not
the A plot is pretty drama heavy though. I think when he goes to meet up with the dude that he played hockey with, that drama is heightened. It's undercut by that rando putting the bike in the bike holder or whatever. But that's the A plot that's really good. The A plot had me, interested in it.
I really like that bit, that part.
You did or you didn't like it?
I did.
Oh, okay.
When he was like, "No, I don't trust you," I was like, "No."
Yeah. And of course, it's a rom-com, so they're gonna get back together. But like the museum shit.
I mean, that was so much stronger though than the museum stuff.
100%. Which I think if the museum stuff was stronger, this movie would be even better. And maybe the homophobes would have come out to see it if the museum shit was stronger. Homophobes love museums. Yeah, if the B plot was as strong as the A plot, this would have been top 10 greatest rom-coms of all time.
Yeah, could have. Yeah, for sure.
But, now... Go ahead.
People are going to pick that apart. Like, that's going to get picked apart throughout the years as well. And it's going to be a Nightmare Alley thing. People are going to be like, hey, I love the relationship. No. I hate...
I'd rather watch all 2 hours of this movie. I'll watch the first 45 minutes of Nightmare Alley. And then I just turn it off. I go, wow, Guillermo del Toro made the best Carney movie ever. And
of all time. Great short film.
Greatest short, long film of all time. All right, cinema scores. Would we rent it?
No.
Nah.
Would you buy this movie physically? No.
Nah.
Would you buy it digitally? No.
And a Judd Apatow pack, sure.
Oh, you get a 90 movie Judd Apatow producer credit pack.
I'd buy that shit.
But then you also get the bubble though, and you get year one. I
want to see the bubble though. The concept of the bubble is cool. It's just shit movie.
Yeah, but then you also get year one. Year one is trash.
Yeah, but there's a moment.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, the one that's memed is the moment. There's one moment. Yeah. Oh, first time? That's it. There's no other moment. Would you buy this in the $5 bin at your favorite local establishment?
And this is a great $5 movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would
Great
spend.
gift.
I don't know if I'd spend $5 on it though. Yeah,
You had a coupon for
bro. If I get
50% off.
$4.99 off a $5 movie, I'm buying the fuck out of this movie for a cent. I'm buying it.
Honestly, I'm buying a ton of them and reselling them.
I'm buying it just so I can rip it, put it on the Plex server, and then fucking I'm gonna send it back to Best
Yeah.
Buy and get my cent back.
Oh shit.
Would you put this on in the background while people are over?
I think so.
I think so too. Just for the chaos aspect alone.
So, like, me personally, yes. But also still, there's a lot of people. I know we're not saying a lot. You're not saying a lot, but I'm saying a lot.
You're saying a lot of people that you know. There you go. That's a better
Yeah.
descriptor of it.
But also, there's some kids in the house, so I don't know if you can.
No, but it doesn't say which people. All right, this isn't that specific. It's saying if the occasion arises with the right people, are you putting this on in the background with those people over?
Oh, right
Yes.
people, 100%.
100%. Because there's
Yeah.
some movies
Wrong
though
people?
blew
No.
by you, even with the right people. I'm not putting it on in the background. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a downer.
Yeah, there's no like even with people who would like the movie, those people aren't the right people because it's not just you alone eating a chicken sandwich. This
Yeah.
movie though, with the right people, you throw that bitch on, you know, you turn around, you play a couple beer pong, you turn back, this one dude's getting blown by two dudes.
I would play this amongst our group of friends. I think it
100%.
would be.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't.
Yeah, whenever you say you people, I always just think of us.
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
Would you watch this again? Yes.
I don't know if it has
Same as-
enough to bring me back. Like, I did enjoy it, but maybe one more time.
I would have to watch it with someone else though. I'm not watching it alone
I don't
again.
know. I was cackling, dude. This is my second time seeing it.
Yeah?
I was still cackling.
But if
Even
you
louder
jokes
too,
are
'cause I'm not
strong.
home.
But if you, yeah, they were like, "Why is that dude laughing at his suck noises?" That's weird.
Yeah.
But like, would you have watched it a second time if you didn't have to watch it for work?
I think so.
Okay,
If I was just scrolling something, like I didn't.
Yeah, you were
I
on the
finished all
cock.
the Walking Dead.
you're very casually on the
Yeah.
cock.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Would you recommend it? Should we remove this since in the spoiler
We already
free
say
we
thumbs
give
up
the
or thumbs
recommend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
So we gave all thumbs up. So we would all recommend it. All right, ratings. Who's got a good one?
I give this.
Hold on, wait. Hold. I forgot to open up the sheet.
Hold.
Now I'm freaking out. I can't read. All right.
What's in our sevens, Joey?
Oh, dude, I don't have that open, Eric. Shit. Hold on. I'll
I
open up-
thought they were
No,
rating
no, I'm
page.
opening up the rankings so that we can take those numbers and then put them in. In the sevens, we
Uh-huh.
have, in order of the rank, by the way, this is in order of how highly we rank them. Snowpiercer, 500 Days of Summer, Annihilation, Tenet, Doctor Strange 2. What the fuck movie is that? The icon is so small that I can't read the text. A Quiet Place Part 2, The Fault in Our Stars, Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, Candyman, Coco, The Naked Gun, Belfast, That Thing You Do, Birdman, Sonic, Almost Famous. I don't know what that movie is either. So I mean that's the front half though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That gives you a good
Okay.
feel.
Step Brothers,
Yeah, that's
Malignant, American Psycho, Batman, Shazam.
We do such a wide variety of movies.
Hey, nobody
We
can
just,
say that we pigeonhole ourselves. Nobody.
Yeah.
All right, James, I'm ready for you.
I give it 8 out of 10 days in my cycle. I gotta hurry up and get to the gym because I don't want to miss my window.
I got a fucking pump. Eric?
I give this $8.5 million. I gotta fucking get from Deborah Messing or whatever her name is.
Bowen Yang is the one who gave it to him, though.
Oh, Joe's about to give it a 6.
No. It's not a 6. It's not a 6.
Eric, what was your thought process? You were like, "What's in the sevens?" and then you go 8
8 and a half. He wasn't nowhere
Bro,
near
like,
7.
That's
Well,
a point and a half up.
I wanted to rate it above you because I'm like, oh, I didn't think you would rate it 8 because I was gonna
No,
rate it an 8.
Yeah, I like this movie. I don't think it's a bad movie. I just think there's so many reasons why it didn't do as well in its box office. But I think everyone should have watched it because it's a great movie.
I'm gonna have to give it a 7.75 tops, willfully being a bottom because they love their partner.
And
Which I
It's
think
been
is
years,
also a
too.
really important. I think that's a super important scene because you know, for most gay men, when you're stuck in your top or bottom, you're a top or a bottom. Very rarely will
especially
you
for his
switch.
character.
Yeah, he's a total
Like,
top. Like he's a
Yeah.
hard top, and for him to be
'Cause-
like, "I'll bottom," that's huge.
Yeah. And that's how you know like he got through to him and like helped him kind of love himself more
Yeah.
and like be okay with who he is. Because no matter what, like throughout his any point before he meets him, he's like, okay, I'm gay, but like I'm not that gay.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
not. I mean, they dropped the hard T in here, and he would have definitely said,
Yeah.
"I'm no hard T, buddy."
Yeah.
Um,
Which is very
Bro,
important.
when they said that in bed, I was like cracking the fuck
Dude,
up.
I was so thrown off. I was like, "Oh shit, okay."
I mean, hey, if anybody can say it, it's them.
It is
It's
100%
chocolatier,
them.
man.
That chocolatier. He's over here. He's over there packing the fudge. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
All right, everybody. That was our
I didn't even think
review.
about it like that.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't make the joke. I was really shocked they didn't make a fudge packing joke. I was so thrown off. So that was our review of Bros. Average score of 8.08. Since, you know, I gave it
Nice.
a little bit higher than the 7.5 I was going to give it. And I think the only reason I gave it less than an 8 is because we also saw Violent Night in the same week. If we review this movie separately of Violent Night, I think I would have given this movie a better score. But you'll
Wow.
understand why in our review of Violent Night coming up next. Other than that, though, thanks for tuning in on twitch.tv/SoonerLaterTV and our YouTube channel for our review of Bros. Continue listening and watching and showing your support on all social media at SoonerLaterTV. If you leave a comment on a short, brother, we're going to respond. Sometimes we'll double respond to it. Sometimes James will respond and I'll respond. And you just have to fucking guess to see who's who. If you couldn't catch us live, don't worry. You can listen to us on all podcasting platforms. Just look up Sooner or Later TV. We record our episodes typically live on Sundays and upload them typically by Wednesday, unless work is hard, because we don't get paid for this. So you'll get it when you get it. But you could tune in 5 minutes for our review of Violent Night. We love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.